لا لا. بس ليبلشوا يدخلوا الاتنديز. We will wait a few seconds until we have all of the attendees with us.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Celine?
Yes.
Taminyan?
Right.
You're Taminyan, okay. Okay, we will wait more few seconds. We would like to thank all of you for joining us today in this wonderful morning. We all are coming together on one shared idea, the love of science. And we would like to welcome our amazing panelists who have given us time and dedicated time to come and share their experiences with us. So we would like to welcome our host for today, our moderator, Ms. Celine.
Thank you, Marwa. Hello, everyone.
Ms. Celine, it's the mic is yours now.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session on the Institute of International Education Scholar Rescue Fund's Distance Learning Initiative, referred to here in this session as DLI. Again, my name is Celine Taminyan. I am IIE SRF Special Advisor for the MENA region. I'm based here in Amman, Jordan. Today with me, I have Dr. Salam Bashi Maliki, a professor at Al-Iraqiyya University in Baghdad, and the founding member of the Iraqi Ministry of Higher Education and IIE Coordination Committee in charge of facilitating the work of the Distance Learning Initiative in Iraq. We also have with us today Dr. Adil Handal, a professor at the University of Gothenburg in Sweden, who is an IIE SRF alumnus and an active participant of the Distance Learning Initiative. Today, the whole goal of the session is to showcase a concrete model for mitigating brain drain and utilizing the expertise and commitment of academics living in the diaspora to improve their home countries. We want to explore if the distance learning initiative can be used as a model to be utilized in other post-conflict settings and beyond. I will start my presentation by offering an overview of the Scholar Rescue Fund and what our program does, and explaining the history behind the launch of the distance learning initiative and how it started. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can't flip the slides. Okay. Let me stop sharing and try to share again, okay? Okay, it's working now. Can you see this slide on the Scholar Rescue Fund?
Yeah, we can.
Great. Okay, so the Scholar Rescue Fund was founded in 2002, and it is the only global program that arranges and funds fellowships for threatened and displaced scholars at partnering higher education institutions. worldwide. Our fellowships enable scholars to pursue their academic work in safety and to contribute to share their knowledge with students, professors, colleagues, and their host and home communities. The point of the program is for these scholars to return to their home countries after the end of their fellowships, if conditions in their home countries permit that. Actually, many of them remain in the diaspora after the end of their fellowships and do not return to their home countries. But many still maintain ties to their home countries and contribute to the rebuilding of higher education from abroad. In the 2000s, Iraq became the center of an academic emergency. Thousands of professors left Iraq starting in 2003, but thousands more were threatened and stayed in the country unable to continue their academic responsibilities. So IIE SRF responded by launching the Iraq Scholar Rescue Project, through which more than 280 Iraqi scholars received IIE SRF fellowships to resume their teaching and research activities in safety. During the fellowships, they received opportunities to contribute to Iraqi higher education even while living abroad. And through the Iraq Scholar Rescue Project, which started in 2007 and lasted till 2014, we offered the Iraq Scholar Lecture Series, through which several activities were offered, such as short-term academic tours inside Iraq. So basically, scholars who finished their fellowships were allowed to travel back to Iraq to offer a series of lectures on campus in Iraqi universities. We also recorded lectures on DVDs or CDs and actually distributed them to Iraqi universities in Iraq. And of course, we offered live feed lectures. And this is how actually the distance learning initiative was launched in 2015, which continues IIE SRF's efforts to strengthen connections between Iraqi scholars living in the diaspora and higher education institutions, students, and colleagues in Iraq through the remote delivery of live lectures and courses. The goal of the distance learning initiative is to fill curricular and expertise gaps at Iraqi universities. In fact, during the Iraq Scholar Rescue Project, we supported the return or repatriation of scholars from Iraq. We supported their return to Iraq after the completion of their fellowships. In fact, more than 40% of our Iraqi scholars were able to return to Iraq to their positions. But many of them actually remained in the diaspora. They chose not to return to Iraq. So we remained in contact with them and offered them the opportunity to share their knowledge and their experience with students and faculty, with their colleagues back in Iraq at Iraqi universities. We actually relied on IIE SRF scholars who repatriated to Iraq and held academic positions, such as in the case of Dr. Salam, and he will talk more about this today. We relied on their help, on their support, on their connections inside Iraq to support our DLI activities. Through DLI, we have worked with several private and public universities inside Iraq in various provinces. And again, Dr. Salam will talk more about this in detail. We worked with universities in the center, in Baghdad, such as Al-Iraqiyya, Al-Mustansiriya, Baghdad universities. We also worked with several universities in northern and southern provinces, such as Basra, Mosul, Kirkuk, Kufa, Tikrit, Maysan, and many more. And I will leave this to Dr. Salam to talk about. It's important here to mention that the distance learning initiative consists of two primary projects, the Live Lectures Project and the Joint Courses Project. The Live Lectures Project provides opportunities for IIE SRF scholars who are living outside of Iraq to deliver live stream guest lectures or series of lectures to students, colleagues, even staff at Iraqi universities inside Iraq. While the Joint Courses Project supports the development and broadcasting of university and training courses at Iraqi universities. Through the Joint Courses Project, the Iraq-based scholar, the professor at the Iraqi university, is offered the opportunity to work with the IIE SRF scholar in the diaspora. Together, they organize and jointly deliver the courses to Iraqi students and professors inside Iraq. Since 2015, when the Live Lectures project was launched, we worked with 16 IIE SRF scholars from Iraq who are living outside of Iraq to deliver 214 live lectures to 19 different universities inside Iraq. And since 2018, when the Joint Courses Project was launched, we worked with 11 IIE SRF scholars to deliver 67 joint courses to 16 different universities inside Iraq. We offered a wide variety of topics in different fields, such as the humanities, STEM, social sciences, applied sciences, on various topics. And these are just examples like pediatrics, environmental sciences, fine arts, women empowerment, airport materials, digital signal processing, robotics, physics, and many more. But very popular and in demand were specifically courses and lectures on writing and publishing academic papers, using statistical analysis for scientific research, using English for academic purposes. And we offered many lectures on the use of e-platforms, which was very useful during the pandemic when universities were shut down and students were not allowed to go to campuses to attend their classes. So we supported university professors and administrators, offering them lectures on how to use e-platforms to deliver their own lectures and courses to their students, such as LabVIEW, Edmodo, and a lot more. These were very helpful during the pandemic. It's very important to mention that the distance learning initiative has benefits for both sides involved and participating in this initiative. It's beneficial to the IIE SRF scholars, and at the same time, it's beneficial to the Iraqi higher education institutions. For the IIE SRF scholars, and Dr. Adil will talk more about this during his presentation, it helps them reconnect with students and faculty in Iraq, given that they are in the diaspora. It helps scholars in the diaspora to contribute to Iraqi higher education by sharing their knowledge and their experience that they gained abroad, and it helps them learn about new higher education needs in Iraq. On the other hand, for the Iraqi universities, it helps them fill curricular and expertise gaps at their universities. In fact, the Iraq-based scholar is offered the opportunity to work with the scholar, the IIE SRF scholar in the diaspora, to develop the curriculum and gain the needed experience and knowledge to continue teaching these courses independently in the future to new groups of students. It also helps universities expose students to new subjects not covered in their courses and to learn about new higher education trends worldwide. Finally, I would like to end by saying that the IIE SRF Distance Learning Initiative, which will end in January 2023, is made possible with the financial support from the US Department of State and is implemented in collaboration with the Iraqi Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research, the Coordination Committee with IIE and other higher education institutions in Iraq. Thank you very much for listening. And now I would like to move to Dr. Salam Bash Al-Maliki. And let me introduce Dr. Salam. But first, let me stop sharing my screen. Dr. Salam Bash Al-Maliki is an IIE SRF alumnus who undertook 2 years of the IIE SRF Fellowship at Ohio University in the United States. He is currently a professor of environmental engineering at Al-Iraqiyya University in Baghdad. Out of his belief in the mission of IIE SRF to support Iraqi higher education and to rebuild Iraqi universities, Dr. Al-Maliki volunteered to facilitate our distance learning activities with the Iraqi Ministry of Higher Education and to facilitate these activities with Iraqi universities through the support of the ministry. Dr. Al-Maliki will speak more about the inception of the ministerial committee in charge of coordinating the work between the ministry and IIE and its role in networking and connecting Iraqi scholars in the diaspora with Iraqi students and faculty. Dr. Salam, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Celine. Thank you for your introduction and your great presentation. It's your usual.
Thank you, Dr. Salam.
Okay, I will talk about the role of the organization coordination committee from the personal perspective and from the institutional one. Let me back 10 years ago, precisely 10 years ago, about 2012, when I was freshly back from the United States. I was anxious to transfer my experience with the electronic learning to my students and colleagues. I tried hard, but with the personal resources, which were very limited, it was close to be impossible because of many problems. And one of the, actually, I will list a few of them. One of the problems that there's no infrastructures for the, the technologies and logistics for the electronic learning. In addition, there's no flexible teaching calendar. You know, the study in Iraq is managed centrally by the Ministry of Higher Education, and all universities are stick to the calendar that is issued by the ministry, and that makes the teaching day very strict. And in addition, which is, I should confess, that there's a lot of suspect and curiosity about contribution of international organizations. Why? Who is that? Who are they belong to? So when Celine contacted me about the initiative of the IIE, it was, for me, it was like a dream that came true. Actually, it was a big boost for me to spread this idea first at the environment that I work with, which is the Al-Mustansiriya University College of Engineering. So on personal contacts and the help of some of my colleagues, we found that there is a conference system, video conference system, which is stored at the one of the stores of the university. It was a donation of a Korean company, but it was not operational due to some technical problems. And here again, with the help of Celine and the technical team in Amman, we managed to operate this the system. And I think this image is for the very first lecture. If I'm not sure, if I'm not right, correct me, Celine. I think this was the first lecture that we made it in 2012. It was in the campus of Al-Mustansiriya University, which is about a few kilometers from the College of Engineering. So we rent a bus to transfer our students there. It was very exciting experience for them, and their reactions were very encouraging. Day by day, we managed to make many other live lectures. It was live lectures, and to be honest, even for the College of Engineering, it was not taken seriously because still this curiosity and suspect. But we managed to do this under the banner, why not? It will not harm. So we will share this experience without any losses. I said yes, go and let our students and teachers see the new technology of teaching, the new teaching style. I think this made a good success in the sense that this encouraged the College of Engineering to purchase its own video conference system. I remember that it costed them about $13,000 at that time, but they managed to purchase it and install it. So we had in a span of less than 6 months, we had two systems, one at the university campus and the other at the College of Engineering, which was a very good move. I think that Celine missed the initiative of a visiting scholar. We made a visiting scholar initiative that enabled many of the scholars who are at the diaspora to come in Iraq and make live series of lectures. It was very successful, and you see this image for an ex-president of the Al-Mustasir University was honoring Dr. Ghani al-Ba'li. I think this was 2013. So the wheel has moved, and we made very good action at that time. And the university and many colleges, they showed their gratitude to the IIE. I myself supplied the shield of the College of Engineering to my dear Jim Miller, and let me salute him wherever he is now. And the other one who was sent by Celine to Dr. Goodman. At that time, the initiative and the whole issue was well announced via my personal communication, my colleagues' communications, and we managed even to publish it in the local media. But still, this was very limited action because many other colleges and universities, especially out of Baghdad, were still cautious about dealing with the IIE, which is not very well known at that time. You know, or you may know, that the culture of using internet to explore information about others was not very well usual in Iraq at that time. So we needed to have a big push. My contacts or my colleagues have advised me to let me say, go forward to the ministry and see who was the key officials there to help us in this problem. Actually, the good luck, maybe the blessing of Allah, has led me to know two of my colleagues who work close to the key officials at the ministry. I think he was the director of the supervision and evaluation device at the ministry, which is the second or third place after the minister. He approved our initiative to create the coordination committee with IIE. It was initiated on a voluntarily based. We didn't ask the ministry we didn't cost them anything. We only wanted them to give us the official umbrella to contact the universities all around Iraq. And this enabled us to encourage the universities, the colleges, the institutions, all higher education institutes to bridge their confidence, the self-confidence and the trust with the international community. And this was aimed to motivate the host to host and participate in whatever actions and initiatives possible, especially that this will not cost them anything, and it will give them a good chance to react with our assets. The diaspora professors are our assets outside. Why not make use of them? Day by day, I think they were encouraged to do that. So we built the infrastructure as the technical capacities in many other universities. Al-Iraqiyya was the third after the University Al-Musansariya and College of Engineering. College of Engineering at Al-Iraqiyya has also made this infrastructure possible. And then day by day, we discovered, actually, I was talking to Celine a few days ago. When we are trying to prepare this presentation, I discovered that we managed to cover all Iraq. You see these circles, all provinces of Iraq were covered by our action. It was amazing that actually when you are working inside the working time, you don't see the whole image. But when we are farewelling this initiative, and I say it with very sadly, we discovered that we covered all Iraqi provinces, including the universities, the colleges, the institutes, which are diploma, 2 years diploma institutes. And it was very great achievement. Actually, this was translated by receiving very much positive feedbacks in the sense of gratitude and appreciation letters from almost all the universities, for myself and for my colleagues at the committee, and even for the Minister of Higher Education. From 2012 until to present, I think there were 5 ministers. All of them have sent letters of appreciation to the IIE and to the universities who contributed these events. And this, if we don't mention the appreciation letters and nice words from the students, teachers, colleagues, they are now anxious to contribute more of these events. I received, until now, I'm receiving many requests to pursue with this initiative. But I hope that we will find another way to help them. Although Celine have mentioned that, but for the impacts that I felt from this whole years of work, there were 2 types of impacts, institutional and individual. For the institutions, they felt that now they have a good confidence in themselves and their faculty, their staff, to communicate with international entities and make good or fruitful results. And now they have a good trust in organizations like IIE, and they believe that they reached the decision that we need to trust them to help us bridging the gap with the modern universities. They developed their technical capacities, and this was very clear during the pandemic. Suddenly, all Iraq, as the whole world, found themselves in an urgent need to use the electronic teaching. what we tried with the IIE initiative and with the work of my committee to help them, and we did. So they developed their technical capacities and knowledge in the electronic knowledge exchange. The work of professors like Dr. Adel has helped them to develop up-to-date curriculum and syllabus based on their experience in their universities. And the most important issue is that we feel that we made the redemption of our precious assets, which are the professors. Now they are ours again, even though they left Iraq for many reasons, but they are feeling our pulse and feeling our needs, and they are ready to help us. Also, maybe Celine didn't mention that, in addition to the regular courses, this initiative was successful in the creation of many original courses, which are the courses that were suggested by either the IIE scholar or the local teachers, and they work together to create these original courses to meet the needs, the modern needs of their universities. Individually, our students and even for the teachers, they discovered new teaching styles and language. When I say language, it's not, I don't mean the Arabic and English, but you may understand, that for teachers like Dr. Adel, Dr. Ghani, I will not list all of them, they are using another language that is not usual for our students, a new style of presentation. Our students now getting used on the electronic teaching mode. They are now, with the help of IIE scholars, have access to international resources. And I would say that these initiatives, I personally felt that there were very, very, very sentimental moments when students, or even who are now teachers, met their old teachers who they thought that they missed them. When teachers like Dr. Muhammad al-Rabai has left Iraq, it was only the classic phone numbers, and we lost them. Now, when they meet them again, there were very, very sentimental moments. I think Celine was there when they talk. Is that you? Do you remember me? I am now Dr. Blah, 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 blah. It was very cheerful and even tearful moments. I hope I'm not taking long time. Thank you, and I hope that I can meet you again. It's your mic now.
Thank you, Dr. Salam, for this excellent presentation. We already have a question, but I think we have some room in the end for a Q&A. Now I would like to move to Dr. Adel Handal. Dr. Adel is an IIE SRF alumnus who undertook his first year of the IIE SRF Fellowship at the University of South Florida in the United States, and his second year at the University of Gothenburg in Sweden. He is currently a professor of marine biology at the University of Gothenburg. Since 2016, Dr. Adel Al-Handal has been an active participant in the distance learning initiative, offering 19 live lectures and 9 joint courses on topics related to predatory publishing, writing and publishing academic research, using distance learning platforms, graduation projects, governance, archiving, and digitization. Dr. Al-Handal will share his experience working with the distance learning initiative as a means to utilize his experience gained abroad to give back to Iraqi higher education. Dr. Adel. We can't hear you, Dr. Adel. You're muted.
Right. Sorry. Thank you, Celine, for this nice introduction and also for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with the DLI project and the IIE SRF team. Let me share the presentation with you. Right. So I'm going to talk about my experience working through the DLI project, both with live lectures and courses, of course, that I have been given, and those that Celine has mentioned just now. The talk will be mainly in two parts. First, how I found the collaboration and cooperation of the IIE SRF team, and how I benefited actually from my courses and lectures with Iraqi students and staff members, faculty staff members. So, I mean, the courses delivered by me to Iraq, skills of academic writing and publishing, which I gave most of the lecture on this subject, in fact. Also, I focused on predatory journals and publishers, just because I know that so many Iraqi scholars were actually dealing with such journals, just because that they didn't know exactly how they, find appropriate journal for their research. Also, I gave a course which was rather important for many about how to write a research proposal to get international funds, funds from international organizations. And I heard that some of the participants were really, tried to apply for such funds. I also gave a course to the undergraduate students, University of Baghdad, on how they do, how do experiments, how do scientific research, and that was for the third level students. Let me now show you actually how the team of the DLI project and IIE, helped, how I found their collaboration with me, as from my perspective as alumnus or IIE SRF previous scholar. I must confess that, admit that, both Celine and Dr. Salam were really cooperative. They were very helpful. They didn't actually say no to whatever suggestion that I make or the Iraqi scholars make, requesting courses or lectures or whatever. So this is really very much appreciated, in fact. Also, the courses selected by the team was those courses that really, oriented towards capacity building in scientific research, as much as I am concerned, in fact, because there are other courses that I was not involved in, but as much as I'm concerned, the courses were really those that fill the gap in some information or some knowledge among Iraqi students or scholars. So this was really appreciated, both by me, by the participants, because they got benefited from those courses. Also, the curriculum, the modern actually approaches how to prepare curriculum was really important for Iraqi scholars to understand or to know about. We all know that communication between Iraqi scholars or postgraduate students and the international academic community is rather poor. There are so many reasons, which is, the time is not suitable now to talk about, but the communication is really not that good. So, these courses offered by IIE were really helping in developing somehow the curriculum or any aspect related to the curriculum. Flexibility, in fact, was really excellent. How the team responded to suggestions, allowing Iraqi institutes, faculties, different universities to select by their own the courses that they really think it's beneficial for them. So this is a good flexibility. I mean, they didn't actually make choices by themselves, but they gave the opportunity to Iraqi scholars to request certain courses, which of course were important for them to fulfill certain gaps in their knowledge or information. This was really appreciated, in fact. Also, when a course is selected by any faculty members or postgraduate students, the approval process was really fast. I mean, it doesn't take that long for the IIE administration to approve the course once they feel that it is important for Iraqi scholars or postgraduate students. This is, I mean, from my experience, I found this really encouraging and really, it was really fast. It doesn't take, I mean, more than sometimes 2 weeks for the courses to be approved. Something really appreciated as well. Also, I mean, the communications between the scientists in diaspora and the, people inside Iraq and the scientific or academic community were really facilitated by Dr. Salam, for example, in Iraq. He was always making, for example, me and the leading professors in Iraq in contact right quickly. Also, he gave us the freedom to discuss several issues by our own without his interference, so that we agreed on timetables, for example, on curriculum, on syllabi of the courses. This was really flexible and was really facilitating the courses. So this was also really appreciated. These are really the points that I wanted to mention about how I felt about the about how to deal or about the the attitude of the IIE team working with expatriate scholars. Now, I myself also benefited from these courses. I didn't just deliver my experience to my colleagues in Iraq. I also myself got some benefits from these courses. I'm still an Iraqi scientist, just working abroad. My first SRF fellowship in America, when I finished it, I returned back to Iraq, and that was 2013. But in 2016, when I got my second year fellowship, I came to Sweden. And when I finished my first year, the people here in the department, in the institute, felt that I am, good for their work, and they felt that I can do something here. So they asked me to stay, and they offered me a job in the university. But I'm still feeling connected, linked to my colleagues, to the students that I worked with in Iraq. So, working from abroad to the people inside Iraq also gave me some benefits. I got some better understanding on the obstacles facing students and researchers in Iraq. During the years that I stayed here, there were about 7 years or something like that. So things changed quickly in Iraq. So I got better understanding on how they actually feel about doing research, what are the obstacles, mostly, of course, financial support or whatever, or equipment in the labs, something like that. Also, actually, they encouraged me to look for a new information, new knowledge here and there, to give it to them, to pass it to them. So, I got this from their questions, from their requests. So they make me also dig in science to find the most appropriate ways in knowledge or in whatever information they want. And this increased my knowledge also. I benefit personally from that. I also actually, these initiatives, the DLI, it gave me the opportunity to keep in touch with the students, not only researchers. Some of the undergraduate students or even postgraduate students actually kept me informed about their issues. They continued until now. Tens of them actually continued to contact me asking for journals, for research topics, or even papers that they can't get free. They asked me if I can offer the papers to them, which I can, of course, because the university here has subscription to hundreds of excellent journals. And then I had free access to those journals as well. So I can offer those papers to them. Discussion that was made concerning several points in research and scientific and higher education issues in Iraq. It gave me also more information, more background about what's going on now in Iraq. All of these actually are really appreciated issues that without the DLI initiative, would not be possible at all. So I feel grateful for that. And I still may actually feel that if such program or another program will be initiated to be of good help for scholars in Iraq and for scientists in diaspora. I heard from Celine and Dr. Salam that the DLI will be seized maybe in a few months, which is really, really sad news. But perhaps in the future, something will pop up to compensate for such loss. I hope so. I can say that I developed my capabilities of dealing with issues facing learners and researchers in Iraq. The e-learning system that I actually started to use in my lectures with Iraq was also, without Iraq, I couldn't actually go through such system because it is quite different in Sweden and in Iraq, those e-learning systems. So I use the learning system used in Sweden here, followed in Sweden, or available to scientists in Sweden, with Iraqi scholars, which also give me more practice in using the e-learning system. Also, in Iraq, actually, as Dr. Salam mentioned, many faculties from Kirkuk in the north to Basra in the south received those courses. I was lucky enough to give courses also to people from North Iraq, from Kurdistan. I remember that I gave a lecture one time, I don't know, probably 3-4 years ago, to Mosul University as well, and that was about
Al-Kitab also.
Al-Kitab, yes, that is Al-Kitab in Kirkuk as well. Yes, definitely. And then courses to Baghdad, courses to I remember there was an institute in Maysan or Nasiriyah, and also in Basra and further south. So this was also fruitful for me to get in touch with scientists in different universities all over Iraq. This was really, really appreciated. What is more important, as I mentioned earlier, that I had the opportunity to get communicated with scientists. I got friends, colleagues, now new ones that I couldn't have been in touch without this initiative. So I got new colleagues, new friends from different universities that we are now continuing our communication, whether through emails or WhatsApp or whatsoever. That's actually was really appreciated. This is all what I wanted to say in a hurry. In fact, I know there is a shortage of time, but thank you for listening, and I hope that we will have more opportunities for such meetings and conferences. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Adel, for this excellent presentation and for sharing your experience working with the Distance Learning Initiative. I heard from the organizers, we have to finish exactly at 2 o'clock Amman time 1 o'clock Central European time, because the next session cannot start until we finish. So very quickly, today we were supposed to have with us Dr. Yusra Abdul Sahib, but I believe she's not able to join. Is she, Dr. Salam? Can she join?
No, she doesn't find the ticket.
So she's back, but she can't find her ticket.
Yes, she's back and she's trying to contact us, but she doesn't find the ticket. She's
Is Lana
calling
with
me.
us? Is Lana with us today? Lana, are you here?
Do you need anything?
Yes,
Dr. Yusra.
Marwa. Dr. Yusra, one of our speakers, she cannot find the email in which she was sent the special ticket.
Okay, we will send it to her now.
Can you send it again?
Yeah, sure.
So sorry for this delay, but Dr. Yusra was called to a very important meeting, so she couldn't be here with us today from the very beginning. But I can quickly mention something while she's able to join. I hope she does. Dr. Yusra Abdul Sahib is the Assistant Dean of the College of Science for Women at the University of Baghdad. The University of Baghdad has been one of IIE SRF's Distance Learning Initiative's strong partners since 2016, hosting 112 live lectures and 18 joint courses on a wide range of topics such as ecological modeling, contemporary Arab art, computational fluid dynamics, ISO accreditation, and writing and publishing academic research papers. Dr. Yusra Abdul Sahib will speak about her experience working with IIE SRF and the Ministry / IIE Coordination Committee to utilize the Distance Learning Initiative, distance learning activities on Baghdad University's campus. I hope she's able to join. If not, maybe Dr. Salam can mention something about the University of Baghdad's experience on campus working with the Distance Learning Initiative. Is she able to join, Dr. Salam? Do you know?
Not until now, I'm not aware of that. Do you want me to call her, or because she's trying and she was waiting for an email? Do you want me to make her aware?
I suggest, we have 7 minutes left. We have a few minutes left. I suggest that, because I got some messages. Some of the participants from Basra, I think, wanted to say something as well.
Yes, Dr. Athir is here.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have a question also. So while she joins, maybe we can answer some questions.
That's better.
Can we start with the question from Sarah Abdel Jalil? She asked, for such program to be successful, there is a need for good digital access and internet connections, as well as electricity supply for students in country of origin. I think Dr. Salam can also help us with the answer to this question. This is not always the case. Digital access is challenging and expensive. Please share with us how you overcome such challenges. Sarah, it is actually challenging, especially at times in Iraq, especially at the beginning of the initiative. We had so many challenges concerning a loss of power, weak internet connection, sometimes even no internet connections. In the early days of the program, even maybe before Dr. Salam started facilitating this initiative in Iraq, there were many instances when we had everything organized, when we used to use especially the video conferencing system. We used to go to a specific location where we had the equipment and the students would be ready on campus. Everything is ready. The lecturer would start the lecture and all of a sudden, there's a loss of internet connection or there's loss of electricity. So it was challenging often. We had to reschedule lectures oftentimes. But I think Dr. Salam can talk more about this. As this program developed and it started to get the attention of the ministry in Iraq and the various universities in Iraq, some universities were able to offer their students internet connection or Wi-Fi so they can join these courses and lectures. Dr. Salam, can you comment on this?
Yes, Celine, as Sarah said, internet connection is it is the crucial issue, and one of the successes of this initiative of the IIE is that they encouraged the Iraqi institutions to be aware about installing these infrastructures. And we have some days that the scholar is lecturing and there's suddenly no power or no internet. I even used my phone VPN to facilitate some lectures, but such kinds of initiatives were very important to encourage the administrators to put their money in this issue. And now, when we scan the Iraqi universities and entities, you'll find that almost all of them has installed such facilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Salam. Any other questions? Dr. Athir, did you have a question?
Probably he can comment. I mean, he opened the mic and
Maybe we can allow him to.
Yes, Dr. Athir would be a very good support to this discussion.
Marwa, can we allow Dr. Athir to speak? Marwa?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, Dr. Athir.
Maybe you should use microphone, Dr. Asir.
Can you hear us, Dr. Athir?
Sorry, I'm calling him.
Okay. While we are able to take Dr. Athir's question, does anyone else have any questions? You can either type it in the Q&A or maybe we can allow you to speak.
I think Dr. Yusra is now joining us as a participant, if I'm not wrong. Dr. Yusra Al-Hilali, is that you or not? Because she couldn't find the link, the ticket for as a speaker. So I advised her to at least be there.
Dr.
She's
Yusra?
there. Is that you, Dr.
Dr.
Yusra?
Yusra, just open your mic. You are allowed to speak now. Just unmute.
Unmute, Dr. Yusra, please.
Maybe you should use headphones or microphone. I think she can't hear us.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay.
Dr. Yusra Hilali is not our Dr. Yusra, she's another one.
Okay. Okay, before we end this session, can Dr. Athir at least type his question? Can he hear us?
I mean, he seems to be joined, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
He can hear us and he's talking with me.
I mean, now he
He can hear us and he's talking with me.
I mean, now he could hear us. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but he can't speak. Is that the problem?
I think he might have a problem with his microphone.
Okay, Dr. Athir, may I ask you to type in your question in the chat, and we'll try to answer because we have to end the session.
He will write us. He will write to us in the chat because he cannot use his phone.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, he talked through your phone and you open the speaker.
If that's okay, I would use it.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Put him on speaker so that we can hear him. It's faster.
الو دكتور عيني احكي انت بخلال تليفوني اذا تريد. يلا اوكي المايك لك. I cannot hear. He is speaking no, لحظة. He is speaking but I don't think that he is able to.
If he'd prefer to type it, even if in Arabic, that's fine.
دكتور عيني اكتب لنا كتابة. Nice. He was fluent speaking but I cannot hear him. Dr. Athir from Al Basra University, he was with us. He was very enthusiastic to this event and he helped us with the coordination of our events at Al Basra University. And he is a fan of Dr. Adil. He always asks for lectures from Dr. Adil. I don't know why.
So let me clarify, basically, Dr. Athir is one of our lead professors in Iraq for the Joint Courses Project. As I mentioned earlier, the Joint Courses Project, through this project, the scholar in Iraq, the professor teaching at a university in Iraq, works together with one of IIE SRF's professors in the diaspora to work together on a course that's already offered through the university in Iraq, but the professor in the diaspora works with the lead professor to jointly deliver this course, benefiting from the experience of the Iraqi scholar living abroad to fill certain curricular and expertise gaps. So Dr. Athir was one of the lead professors who worked jointly with Dr. Adil Handal on certain courses offered at Basra University for the benefit of their students. Did he type in his question or not yet?
I'm writing to him.
I don't think he did.
I think he's having a problem with technology.
Okay. Unfortunately, I think we have to end. I'm sorry, because the next session has to start. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I hope you can benefit from this initiative as a model to use in other settings. Thank you very much for SASTA, for the organizers, for the help of Lana and Marwa. And we look forward to receiving the recording of this session. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending and thank you for this inspiring session. Thank you so much. Thank you, Celine. Thank you for all the attendees.
Thank you all. And thank you, Dr. Adil and Salam.
Thank you, Celine.
Take care. Bye.